Are you hoping to separate the relationship between the number of hours that you work and the amount of income that you generate? Passive income is the dream of many, but also a fair few people are pretty skeptical of it for very good reason. It sounds way too good to be true. In this video, I am so thrilled to introduce you to my good friend Erica. Previously, she was a website designer building custom sites for her clients. However, she was lusting after a business model with a bit more freedom and a little bit less of the stresses that come with clients relying on her every single week. So she decided to try her hand at selling website templates. So instead of creating custom sites for clients, she would create one website design and then resell it multiple times for a much lower cost for the clients. She has now sold over 5,000 website templates to date through her company, Big Cat Creative, which at a couple $100s per template means she has now made well over $1 million from selling her website templates. Now today, Erica is getting honest in our interview about exactly how much work running a business like this actually takes, and also her advice for others who are interested to create a template shop of their own. Now, a little bit of context for you, Erica's website templates are specifically for the Squarespace website building platform. It is a platform we both truly love and fully recommend, but I do want you to know that what she speaks about would relate to selling website templates, honestly, based off of any website building platform out there.
Okay, Erica. So for everyone who is watching and currently wondering, you made the switch from doing custom websites for people to templates very successfully. So I would love to hear first about what was the process like of making that switch? How exactly did it look? How long did it take you in order to go from custom sites to just templates?
So I started off with custom design, obviously, like you just said. I was doing custom websites and branding, and I was doing that for about a year, I think, or maybe a little less than, when I decided to start creating templates. And when I started creating templates, it wasn't really my intention to eventually just do templates at all. Actually, I wasn't thinking about that at all. I didn't think that would even be possible. But I started creating them with the idea that I just wanted to make a little bit of extra income alongside my custom clients. And that's basically what I did. So about a year in, I launched some templates.
How many did you launch with?
I think I launched with 6, which is actually insane. You totally don't need to do that. I just felt like, the more the better. People will take me more seriously if I launch with more. I don't think it was necessary. I probably could have launched with 1 or 2, but I launched with 6, and it was a lot of work. But I was really in a place where I was able to do that at the time. For a lot of people, I'm sure that's unachievable to just whip out 6 templates.
How long did it take you to create them and even set up the whole system of the purchasing and everything? It's not just creating the templates, it's also creating the information about the templates and the purchasing process and everything.
It took me, I can't exactly remember, but I'm sure it was a good few months of pretty solid work. And it would have been a lot easier if I didn't choose to launch with 6, because I recorded separate tutorials for each of them, which were very long and detailed at the time. My process is a bit different now, but at the time I was recording individual long tutorials for each template. So that made the process way bigger. If I'd just done one, it probably would have just taken me a couple months. But no, I think it took a few good months before I was ready to launch. So then I was just I had a very small audience. People who were following me on Instagram, maybe 500 followers or something at the time. And I maybe had 100 or 200 people on my email list.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of promoting it to them as I was building. So I knew I was going to launch them. I was really serious about it. So I just started promoting that this is what I was working on. And I launched them. Yeah, it was really just a gut feeling of something that I really wanted to do. I had the time and the resources to do it at the time. So I was I'd be silly not to give it a go.
Tell me about launch day. Was it zillions of sales in 5 seconds, or was it a much more gradual process to make sales on these things?
It was I think it was 1 sale, which I was really stoked about, to be honest. And I still am. I think that's pretty good. I had a very small audience. I think I had maybe 1 or 2 sales on the first day, but I was stoked with that because, first of all, I think my templates at the time were $149 US. And I just sold 2 of them and made $300 in 5 minutes. And I was okay, I can see the potential here. Like I said, I knew it was going to be a really good decision. I just felt it in my gut. This was going to be something fun. I just had a really good feeling about it. But it wasn't until I sold that first template that I was okay, now I know all that work was worth it. And now I can spend all my time marketing these, and I know that people are going to buy them. Even though I've only had 1 or 2 sales, that means that other people are going to buy them too.
Tell me also, people always want to know timelines on things. So like, tell me how long from that point when you launched it to going, like to stopping custom services and just doing templates. What was roughly the duration of that time there?
Write things down in your business, guys, because you've got a memory like me, and then people ask you these things, you're like, oh, I have no idea. No, I think roughly I was selling templates and still doing custom design for another year. And then it got to a point where I was spending a lot of time marketing the templates still. I still wasn't thinking that I was just going to transition to templates. That really wasn't on my radar until like right before I did it. I was selling more and more templates every month, which was great because I was putting a lot of effort into the marketing, because I knew, I was just trying to meet sort of like an income goal that was sustainable between the templates and clients. So I wasn't having to work with as many clients, which was awesome, but I really spent all that time marketing the templates. I think I had my biggest month selling templates, and on the other hand, I was working with like a very tough client. One of those projects that had just like drawn out too far, totally my fault. Now I think back on it, but it was just like revision after revision after revision. And it was stressing me out. And then I kind of woke up one morning and I was like, maybe I just don't have to do this anymore. Like very dramatic, like I am. I'm like, no, I'm done with clients now. I'm just going to sell templates. And so that's how it happened. There was a period where I had to reduce my income because as soon as I dropped clients, that was probably half of my income. And so I was like, okay, I really need to hustle to make sure I meet that same income goal so I can live and eat and pay my bills. And if I could meet that, within a couple of months, I was like, all right, this is going to be a good thing. And I did. But I was also willing to go back to working with clients if that didn't work as well. I was like, I'll just give it a go.
In there, you've said some interesting things. All the time that you weren't spending on clients, you put it into marketing the templates, which I think is very important for people who are thinking about passive income to realize is that you still work, you just do different work. So can you tell me about, with that marketing that you're doing, what did you find worked really well for selling templates?
Yeah, you're so right. It's like I still work full time, basically. It's just a business model that feels way less stressful, and people aren't relying on you, and you can work in your own time, and it's passive to an extent, but you still got to put the work in, right? Marketing was quite an easy transition for me because the way I was marketing my custom web design services from the beginning was a very similar way that I still market my templates today. I know that's not the case for a lot of people because a lot of people are using like referrals and word of mouth and stuff like that to get their clients. But from the beginning, I was blogging, just like creating content on social media and all those sort of techniques that lend themselves really well to not only getting clients, but also mass marketing products. I think it's a little bit different for everyone. Depends on who your ideal client is. It also depends on the year because things just keep changing really fast. Yeah, so for me, consistent blogging and creating helpful, useful content that's searchable online. And I know that you teach the same thing, Paige, because we've been blogging from the beginning.
Yeah.
We are the OG
Squarespace bloggers. Yep.
But really, if I hadn't done that in my business, there's no way I would be where I am today, just because it's just like this catalog that you build up over time of this searchable content, and every week you add to it. And so every week it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And everything that I created 5 years ago when I first started, or 6 years ago, God, I don't even know what the year is still there, and it's still searchable, and it's still getting traffic. So something that's searchable, everyone uses Google. So whether that's blogging or even YouTube is great for that too now. And maybe if you want to do a podcast, you could do a podcast with a blog, but something that's searchable has been very helpful because everybody is Googling stuff.
Do you have a gut feeling as to which is more successful for selling your templates if you had to guess between content creation and social media?
Oh, content creation, hands down. Yeah. 90% of our traffic still comes from Google. I think Instagram was really cool, really good at the beginning, and it was easier to find people. In the last couple of years, it's been more about sort of nurturing the audience you already have. It's a little bit harder to find new audience members now. I find I still do it because it's visual. I connect with a lot of my audience there because that's where they are. And I would encourage people to find out where their ideal clients and audience hangs out, because it might not be Instagram, depending on who you're trying to reach. But for me, that's Instagram. So I still have a presence there, but we're definitely not putting as much effort as we used to. I used to post 2 to 3 times a day, and now I'm like 2 times a week, maybe, because it's just consistently for the last 5 years, I've been putting the same effort or more into the blog and now YouTube and content, because that's just hands down the most successful.
Interesting.
And then also social media, if your audience is on Pinterest, that's a really awesome visual platform to try. As a visual product, like a Squarespace template, Pinterest is so visual, so it's really easy product to promote on there.
That's interesting. Okay, so I was really curious about that because a lot of the big template shops, they're on social media. And so I was really curious to know, like, does that really, because I mean, for me, it wasn't such a thing, but I also never did social media well. So I think it's very interesting that you say that. So, because you did put effort in for like a long time into it. So
I did, yeah. And I do think like you can still find success on Instagram, no doubt. You just have to put a lot of effort into it. And it's constantly changing, and I just get a little bit tired of that. And it's a little bit exhausting as a business owner. And I think a lot of people can relate with Instagram being a little bit exhausting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would highly recommend, even if you do want to do social media, doing some form of searchable content is just like so good.
Yeah. Okay. Love that. Amazing. Other thing which I want to know is selling your templates on a place like other than your own website. So I see like you have your templates on like creative marketplaces. Can you talk about like where do most of the sales come? Is it from your own website or is it from like creative marketplaces?
Okay, so majority of our sales definitely come through our own website, and that's because of all of the traffic we get from the searchable content we create. And I would always recommend people to prioritize creating their own shop and selling on their own shop, just because with marketplaces, they're awesome, and our templates are on some marketplaces, but they're not yours. So things can change so fast. Having your products like relying on another platform is just a little bit scary if that's all you've got and that's all of your income coming from those marketplaces. Also, they charge huge fees, so if you can avoid those fees, then that's great. So we have our templates on Creative Market. I haven't made the effort to put them on any other marketplaces. We have them on there because they are really great. They have their built-in audiences. There's like millions of people visiting Creative Market every day. And I obviously don't get a million people to my site every day. So the chance that people will find you on there, while there is millions of products on there, so it's kind of low, if people are there looking for Squarespace templates, for example, it's a good chance that they're going to see yours. And it's just like, because those people know what Creative Market is, they're going to go there and search instead of maybe searching on Google. So it's really just extra eyes on your templates and maybe some extra sales. And this is a little bit sneaky, but I know that a lot of people will find our products on Creative Market, then go to our website and buy our templates from there. So it's just extra eyes, extra sales, but I wouldn't rely on it as your only source of income. I know a lot of people that do sell just products on marketplaces, and that's awesome if that works for them. But I encourage you to put a little bit more effort into building your own shop, just for that like safety and less fees, Nobody likes fees.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, can you also talk to me about, I know a lot of people wonder, like they're currently working with doing custom clients and they're thinking like, my life is just going to be this like dream scenario once I'm a template shop owner and everything. Can you talk about like, what do you actually do? Like, what do you mostly spend your time doing as a template shop owner? And like, how much work is it to really run a business like of this style?
Firstly, I will say it is a dream. Just kidding. Like, it's not that far away from a dream. I love it. No, but I do work a lot. So don't get it twisted. A lot of marketing, like we've talked about. Yeah, I would probably spend like 20 to 30% of my time in marketing. And then from there, we do a lot of support and customer service. So whether you choose to include support in your templates or not, you're still going to be doing at least some support and a lot of customer service. It doesn't matter how many FAQs you put on your site, people are still going to email you asking you questions. So customer service to like close sales and advise people on our templates. And because we have support included with our templates, a lot of email support just to help people get their websites built and use the templates. That's totally optional if you want to include support in your templates or not. It could be paid support, it could be very limited support. So you can kind of tailor that to how much you want to be in your inbox. But the good thing about that is it's something you can outsource as well. Like I don't do that support anymore. I did for a long time. And when I did, it was a large, it was a big couple hours a day of just helping people in the inbox, but now someone else does that, so that's good. And then the third thing would be updates, so template updates and template development. Technology constantly is being upgraded, and if you include any sort of tutorials with your templates, they will need to be updated pretty regularly, and even the actual templates might need to be updated depending on the platform updates. So yeah, like once a year, we usually end up having to do a huge update. And then there's also like little updates just throughout the year along the way. Also, you might want to be developing new templates, and that does take a while. So we do quite a bit of template development throughout the year. But that's pretty much about it, apart from the general administration of just running a business.
Yeah.
Which always takes more time than you think.
Correct. Okay, amazing. You have seen and you've helped a lot of people launch template shops. Can you talk to me about what are the mistakes that you most commonly see when people go to launch a template shop, and what do you want people to avoid doing if they go to launch their own?
The majority of people that I've seen launch template shops have done it under my framework. And so the biggest mistake, and there's not that many that they make, to be honest, but the biggest and like really the only thing I see is from a marketing aspect. So they might launch their shop and not get any sales and kind of wonder why. It's a mistake and it's a misconception of like you need to be marketing these things. And kind of like I touched on before, a lot of custom web designers want to sell templates, which is amazing. It's a great transition, but a lot of the marketing methods that they're using now don't translate that well into templates.
Mm-hmm.
So it turns into more of like a how many people can get your eyes on this sort of marketing rather than a relationship building, referral building type marketing that they might have been doing before with their custom web design. So new marketing techniques and focusing a lot of time on marketing. It sounds a little bit painful, but it's like so worth it because then you can just sell as many templates as I don't know, the sky's the limit. There is no limit on how many templates you can sell once you get going with the marketing. But that's probably the biggest thing. It's like a lot of people launching and working so hard on the template and then launching to crickets because there's been no marketing. But that's fine. It's not like you have to market before you launch. Like, I only sold one template. So you could just keep marketing after you launch. That's great. But as long as you are in the mindset that they're going to require marketing.
Yep, totally. I think that's so perfect how you said that. Was like there's certain marketing strategies which will get you in front of a lot of people, and then there's other marketing strategies which are like relationshipy marketing strategies, which you get to know individual people. And like if you want to sell templates, you've got to make the switch from this like relationship marketing to this like mass marketing. How can I get in front of an absolute ton of people? So true.
Yeah.
I could not agree more. Every time I see someone launch, like successfully or not successfully launch a template shop, it comes down to the marketing for sure.
Always, yeah. Like the designs are so good. There's so many people out there in the market for templates, whether it's super custom coded or it's super simple. Like every design I look at, I'm like, this could sell. There's people out there that'll buy this. We just have to find them.
Yep. I totally agree. Also, one random question, which I'm just personally interested to know. What would you say the percentage of sales is that happens like on like a random everyday regular basis versus like when you do some sort of like you do a Black Friday and everything, or like a specific promotional sales period? Is it like consistent sales throughout or just sales during launches or sales or whatever?
I couldn't give you a percentage because I don't look into that stuff. But there's definitely an increase when we run a sale or a promo, or maybe if we launch a new template and just maybe we'll do like a little bit of a discount for that new template. There is always an uptake in sales when you're actively promoting. I mean, you can sell them any way you want, but for us personally, they're just available in our shop all year round. And so not having that sort of incentive to buy, I'm sure puts people off. Well, not puts people off, but it makes people delay their purchasing when they just know that it's readily available for them at any time. Like we do generally 2 big sales a year, and that definitely stimulates a lot of sales because people are like,
it's a reason to buy.
It's a discount, of course. And they were thinking about buying it anyway. So I think a lot of people maybe that are on the fence, they convert that in that week. Don't know the percentage, but it definitely helps to run some sales and some promos and any sort of like things that you can do like that are really helpful for your sales,
Yeah.
especially if you like need a bit of a injection in your business. Run a sale.
Yeah, amazing. All right. So you also, I know you have something fantastic for people. You have a training for people who are interested to start selling templates. Can you tell me about that as well?
Yes. So we have this new training that covers why selling Squarespace templates in your business can be so beneficial if you're already a website designer and you are sort of on the fence or thinking about starting with a template shop. This part of the training is just kind of like why you should, how beneficial it can be for your business. And then the second half of the training is 4 really key steps to run a successful shop. So to not only get started, but to also maintain your shop. 4 things that kind of like you have to know about running a Squarespace template shop. So if you are even a little bit interested, this is going to be really beneficial for you. And it will also sort of show you the fundamentals of running a shop. You'll be able to decide if you're interested or not after watching this training. And it's not too long either. So you kind of have a look. And if you're interested in running a shop, then you'll have some really good foundations to start with after watching that training.
Amazing. Okay, cool. What's the link people can find it at?
It is bigcatcreative.com/free training. Just one word.
Amazing. Okay, cool. We will link that below and above and all the places so people can find it. That's amazing. Good. All right. Well,
Yay.
Thank you so much, Erica. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. That was fun.
Isn't Erica incredible? Now, I'm guessing if you watched all the way until the end, you're pretty serious about trying your hand at creating and selling templates, in which case it is time to educate yourself on what the keys are to taking on this project and doing it successfully. You can access a free training that Erica put together called How to Run a Successful Squarespace Web Design Template Shop on her website at bigcatcreative.com/free training, or I'll also link that for you up above and down in the description below as well. Now, if you're hoping to sell digital products like templates, it might also help you to know what the best way is to sell them. Lucky for you, I put together a recap on how we made $20,000 on a $35 digital product in just 7 days. So be sure to watch this video next to learn exactly what goes into putting together a super successful digital product sale.